Hi everybody, Robbie Law, School of Guitar PDX.com. Today I want to talk about two very important aspects of music, and that is technique and content. We're going to start with technique first. So let's look at some of the aspects of technique. But before we do, I'd like to draw your attention to my website to get your free downloadable PDF chart to go along with these examples I'm about ready to give you. There are 4 examples, and I give them in the key of G. The first thing I wanted to talk about is technique, and alternate picking is a really important aspect of technique. That's you want to develop all angles of, you want to be fully functional if you can. All angles of technique, from left to right hand. Sometimes it's a challenge for the right hand to keep up with the left hand, but it's part of, the maintenance program, if you will, of developing the technique and build it strong as you can and keep it up. So alternate picking is great. Also, hybrid picking, using finger and pick. So like what I just did there, I'm starting with a pluck, then a pick. So that index finger is plucking up, kind of like the upstroke in an alternate pick, and the pick is coming down as a downstroke. You should try that. I think if you're not already using that, you'll find some great applications for that. So let's get right to the chart here. Example 1, I call it Falling Down the Stairs, and it's a legato piece utilizing some really neat things. I'm blending, as we talked about blending, I'm blending regular minor pentatonic, box 1 in the key of G, with the minor blues scale. And there are a couple other passing tones that you would find diatonically if we were exploring G Aeolian minor, your diatonic minor scale, which is the point of origin for both those scales. We're talking about the pentatonic and the minor blues scale. Okay, so this first riff goes like this, or example. And it's descending, has an organic flow, like BB's falling down the steps, or somebody tripping and falling down the steps, or water flowing, who knows, whatever. It has that organic falling sound, and I like that sound, that cascading quality to it. So let's take a look at it real quick here. We're going to start with a downstroke on the B string at 3rd fret with the index finger. It's your 5th. So followed with a hammer on. 2 notes for the price of 1. Downstroke, hammer on. Now we're going to follow through the high E at the 3rd fret with the index finger with an upstroke. Keep going up on the B string, pinky on the 6th fret, dominant 7, that's F. Pull it off to the G, to the D rather. That's your 5. So now you have I highly recommend to take that kind of an aspect of technique and play it very slowly up and down the neck in several different positions, so you're not just used to playing at one area. Just break this lick down and use these. Change them if you want, but all the fingerings are listed above in standard notation, above the standard notation, above the tablature, so you'll see that fingering, left-hand fingering. If you see a RM, we're talking about right hand middle finger, okay? So there's the first bite-sized piece of this riff. Now the next move, we'll start on the B string with a plucked. So you're going to pluck at the 6th fret, have your pinky. You're going to pluck to the 3rd fret. You have your index finger right there. So you're going from the dominant 7 F to the 5 D. Now we're going to drop down to the G string with the pinky at the 6th fret too. Not typical in the pentatonic, but definitely in the minor blues scale. That's a flat 5. It gives a little discordant sound, dark, nice texture. And it's a great pivot point. Now that's a pluck, pull, pick, pluck, pick, pull, pull. again, practice that kind of movement very slowly in different locations on the neck, and you'll get it up to speed in record time, definitely, if you do that. Now, the next part of this riff is you're going to start on the dominant 7 again here, just like here. Oh, I'm sorry. We have one more move before we get to that. And this is a pivot right here from the root up to the 4, back to the root. And that happens on the D string at the 5th fret, to the G string on the 5th fret, back to the D string. And it's all done with that ring finger. That rocking motion or pivoting motion is really nice because you can change direction rapidly. Just like that. So now once we do that pivot, and it's a pick, pluck on the G, pick on the D, back up to the G at the 3rd fret with the index finger with a pluck and a pull. Okay, here's the last part of this riff. Right when you do that pull off there on the 3rd fret of the G string, which is your minor 3rd, B flat, to the root G, I'm going to drop down to the D string, hit that open, hammer on to the F right there at the 3rd fret with the 2 finger. Go ahead and move on up to the G string with a pluck, and then back to the D string, pulling that F off to a D, and we're going to drop down to the A string with a flat 5, 4th fret, 3rd finger, slide to the 3rd fret, 3rd finger, that's the 4th note, C, pull off to the 1st fret, which is your minor 3rd, and that's B flat, and home bass, root. Okay, break it down one more time. There's example 1, if you will. Here comes number 2, number 3, 4. All those little aspects in that could really work out to be something really cool in a in a rhythm or something like that. So you want to try to learn that and then break it up, play it backwards, and take from it what you can and implement it into your playing style. Example number 2. Example number 2 is a lot of fun. I look at it like moving to the 4 chord. There we have an inverted C major. We have the major 3rd on the bottom, the 5 in the middle, and the root on the top. You hear that very, remember, well, yeah, so you're just inverting that A shape chord up. Then what we're going to do with this riff is we're going to drop down to the 3rd fret on the A with the index finger. It's going to be a pick, hammer, pluck up to the G string on the 3rd fret, the minor 3rd. Oh, and by the way, sliding into that triad, you're going to use 2 fingers, the ring, the middle, and the ring, M and I, to hit those 2. That technique is really nice too, where you can get dyads, double stops, So you're going to grab that, then you're going to move into this roll with another pull off. So, and we're going to finish it off. The pull off is again happening from the minor 3rd on the G string at the 3rd fret, index finger to the open G string. Then we're going to drop down to the D and slide from an E flat to an E, 1st to 2nd fret, come up with a pinky, hit that note right there, which is the 4, D, and then come back down to E. And that's a pick, slide, pluck, pick. Those kind of moves are great to have, and you can use them in all kinds of different scenarios. So Has a nice little sound. Okay, then lick number 3 sounds like this. Now, again, we're doing some string skipping and rolling. So pick, just like the last one, when we went to there, we're going to do kind of the same thing on different string. We're going to start on the D string. We're going to start on the dominant 7 up to the root, come up to the B string with a pluck at the 3rd fret, and the index finger of the left hand, grab that 5, and let's see. Oh, yeah. And then we're going to pedal back to our root G. Then we're going to use that little triplet again. See, we're blending these scales here, flat 5 rather, to the 4, the minor 3rd. And it's going to be a triple pull-off. Then we're going to slide in, just like we did down here, right? We're going to use this same exact shape. We're going to slide from the major 7 to the root. There we go. To the root again, octave, to the dominant 7. And then here we're going to do a pivot, root, 4, root, and then we're done. Whoops. Something like that there. Okay, example 4. This one is a lot of fun too. It has elements of minor and major blending. So this is the content aspect that I'm talking about. This plays over a dominant 7 beautifully. And we're going to start with the 6. Also plays over minor really nice. So we're going to start with a pull-off and a pluck right here on the B string at the 5th fret. That's the 6th of the scale, right? So we got an E to a D. 6 to 5. Then we drop down with that flat 5 again. I used it a lot on this one. And we pivot. So we repeat that twice. Now when we do this pivot here, we're going to shift down a whole step and a string. So pivot, pick, pluck, pick, shift. Minor 3rd to the 2, hammer onto the minor 3rd, slide it up to the major 3rd. And finish up. So now we have this. Okay, so that will conclude examples for today. Take some time with this. Make sure you get the chart and go through this. If you have any questions, feel free to email me anything about this. And if you go to my website, make sure and check out some of my courses, some of my lessons, and also my True Fire lesson, Pentasonic Blues riffs you must know, 25 of them actually. It's a great course. I had a lot of fun making that. So I look forward to seeing you sometime really soon. All right. Thanks so much.